He was a shepherd boy from a remote village. Yet, when facing the mighty beast, he showed no fear at all. He simply cracked his whip. And with that single strike, he instantly killed the powerful panther-like monster. It turned out that when I was 10 years old, I first discovered I had this power. Back then, I couldn't wait to tell my mom. I told her I could make pieces of wood fly. And that wasn't all. I could also start a fire and summon the wind. But when Mom heard that, she flew into a rage right then and there. That was the first time I ever saw her angry, and also the last. After her anger finally subsided, she called me over and wanted to have a talk. She asked if I wanted to keep living with her. If I did, then I had to promise her one thing. From that day on, I must never use this power again, and I must never let anyone else discover it. When I asked why, she asked if I remembered the stories about nobles and knights. I said of course I did. Then she told me that whether noble or knight, anyone with this special ability is called a wizard. But nobles and knights are fundamentally different. The nobles are descendants of a sacred people called the Freyr, who came to save humanity in the old era. Knights, on the other hand, are those of mixed blood between nobles and humans. That's why even among wizards, they still make a distinction. So now I'm telling you the real reason you can't use this power. Because you inherited your father's knightly blood. Beyond this village, there are many wicked nobles who would treat knights like slaves. So you must remember, never let anyone know you're a wizard. You can promise me that, right? And from that very day, a full 8 years passed. I kept my promise to my mother without fail. But one day, a young man in the village told an elder that a monster had appeared at the edge of the village. The monster was covered in pitch-black shadow, as huge as a house, and shaped like a panther. The villagers were deeply worried, but the village chief had already gone to the city to hire a wizard. Once the chief brought one back, they would surely subdue the monster. Hearing that, the elder warned them to be careful. Without a wizard, killing such a monster was almost impossible. The young man said they'd already notified everyone, except for one person. The elder wondered who that was. The young man replied, "The shepherd who lives on Mount Hisaril, Turan." At that moment, I was lying on the green grass, staring blankly at the pale blue sky. The same scenery, the same dull routine day after day. If this kept up, I'd probably forget how to speak. Just as I was getting a headache, a voice called out, "Poor little brat. The sun hasn't even set, and you're already slacking off?" When I saw who it was, I told him to get lost and not block my sunlight. He grumbled that I was rude and asked if I was still holding a grudge about what happened back then. I shot back, "Are you talking about when my mother died and you tried to quietly turn my sheep into communal property?" He coughed awkwardly and didn't defend himself. So I went on, "If that's what you meant, then you're absolutely right. But I'm not that generous. I won't share my own mother's property with anyone. Besides, we're not close enough to exchange pleasantries. So, what do you want? Say it and leave." That ticked him off. He looked like he wanted to yell at me, but my cold stare shut him up, so he averted his eyes. He told me that a monster had appeared near the village, a panther the size of a house, spotted by Rop. I didn't flinch at all, just stroked the lamb beside me and said that was indeed a big problem. He looked confused. "Aren't you scared? Around here, you're the most likely target. I don't know where you get your nerve. Anyway, the chief's gone to fetch a wizard, so just be careful. I came to warn you because I was worried about you." The moment he finished, I called him out for being dishonest. Why not just say he was worried about the sheep instead of me? Anyway, he'd said his piece, so I told him to get lost. His breath stank, and he was only polluting the air. That made the old man furious, and he stormed off. In this world, the things called monsters are only those beasts that possess mysterious power and magic. If humans have wizards, then beasts have monsters. A wizard actually coming to this backwater village because of a monster. Looks like I'd finally get to see a real one, but if the village chief called them, they probably wouldn't be anything special, even if they were wizards. Still, I wanted to see them with my own eyes. Right then my nose caught a whiff of something, the smell of blood. I followed the scent and found that the old man who'd talked to me earlier was dead. He came to warn me to be careful, but ended up getting attacked first. From the look of it, this wasn't done by an ordinary beast. It had to be the monster he mentioned. Then, I sensed movement around me, and as it drew nearer, I saw exactly what the old man had described. That house-sized, panther-like monster. Back in the village, a child asked his father if the adults really couldn't beat that monster. His father said no. If ordinary folks rushed in, they'd be lucky to even get their bones back. The child asked worriedly what would happen to their village then. His father reassured him, "Don't worry, the chief will bring back a wizard. Wizards can subdue those monsters." The child asked innocently if a wizard could definitely beat it. His father said, of course. "They are great beings born with magical power. able to wipe out those terrifying monsters with just a word. Meanwhile, I was quietly staring at that fierce, panther-like beast. Then I muttered a single word under my breath, and suddenly, the beast retreated several meters, because in that instant, it had sensed a predator's aura from me. Seeing it react like that, I muttered to myself, "Did that not work?" Then it lunged at me ferociously again, so I shouted, "Stop!" And it was scared back again. At this rate, it really wasn't working. Otherwise, it wouldn't keep ignoring my commands. Right then, the beast swung its claws down at me heavily, golden markings glowing on its face. But I dodged before its claws could hit. Seeing how fierce it was, I let out a sigh. Fine then, I'll use the method a shepherd should use. The beast braced itself, while I muttered, "Harden," to the stone in my left hand, then wrapped my whip around it. At that moment, my eyes also flashed with golden light. I swung my whip, stepped forward, and muttered, "Quicken," under my breath. The moment the whip lashed out, that stone shot like a cannonball, ripping toward the enraged beast. With a loud bang, it whizzed past the panther's ear, spraying blood everywhere, which only enraged it further. It threw all its claws and fangs at me. But what I'd aimed for wasn't its ear, it was its head. In an instant, that stone pierced straight through its skull. Watching the beast collapse dead before me, I said to myself, "This is the first time I've used this power on a monster. Now, should I toss it into some valley, or what?" I complained that those idiots in the village really were a pain. After dealing with all that, I went back to my house on the mountain. Because of the promise I made to Mom, I'd never told anyone I was a wizard, nor used it in front of others. Just as I was about to rest, someone knocked urgently on my door, yelling my name. Turan. The moment I opened it, I saw a group of villagers glaring at me. They wanted to ask about the old man who'd come to see me earlier. I yawned and asked nonchalantly, "Are you trying to say I killed Labus?" But before I could finish, the burly man at the front grabbed my collar and glared at me. "Yeah, it was you. You bastard. You chose to harm that innocent old man and fed him to the monster." I paused for a moment, then said I knew why they were framing me. "You're all too scared to fight the monsters, so you ran away, and that got the village's oldest elder killed. Now, you're afraid people will call you cowards, so you're pinning the blame on me." That really ticked the man off. He swung his fist to punch me hard, but I easily dodged it. For me, magic is the most convenient way to solve problems. Because when I strongly wish for something, it happens at the cost of my mana. I quietly muttered, "Trip," and someone in the crowd fell over. Truth is, dealing with them doesn't require fire or powerful magic attacks, just a few subtle tricks. That way they don't get killed. And I still completely overpower them, and that is what I've been doing for all these 8 long years.